All right, so we are working in 11.1. I'm sorry, 11.2, and this section is preparing you to solve word problems by using systems. I am working from home, so I apologize if you hear any background noise, dogs barking, or kids. Try to ignore it. But this word expression is setting up these two equations, and it's good to read over these and try to understand how they got these, because you're going to be doing these by yourself eventually. So 20 gallons of a salt solution consist of 35% salt. So they've mixed 20 gallons together is 35% salt. The result is from mixing a 50% solution with a 25% solution. So we got two different amounts of these mixed together to make this 35 solution. We want to know how many gallons of each solution was used. Well, you know you have 20 gallons total, so we need to add those two up to get 20. And so they're telling you that X is the number of gallons of the 50% solution. We're going to let Y be the number of gallons of the 25% solution. So if you add one number of gallons plus another number of gallons, you're going to get 20. We know that because they told us at the beginning we had 20. So that's where this equation comes from. Next, if you take the number of gallons, you multiply it times the percentage, which they always convert percent to decimal. So you have X times 0.5, and then you add a number of gallons of the 25% mixture, which is the 0.25 as the 25% as a decimal times the Y number of gallons. You're going to equal a 35% mixture times 20. So you use total 20 gallons, you got 35% is the solvability. Okay, so now we're going to solve this system by substitution. Okay, this is my least favorite method. I would rather do elimination, which we're going to do that next. But here's how you do substitution. We're going to take this first equation, X plus Y equals 20. And we're going to solve for Y. So I'm going to move X over by subtracting X from both sides. That leaves us with Y equals negative X plus 20. So sometimes I've just been saying take this term, move it to the other side, and change the sign. So same thing. So here's my new equation when I solve for Y. Okay, that's one of them. The second equation, we're going to leave it as is. 0.5x plus 0.25y equals, now that's 0.35 times 20. So if we go ahead and multiply that out, that'll give us 7. Okay, so 0.35 times 20. Let's double check just to make sure. We're going to do 0.35 times 20. And we get 7. Okay, just always double check to make sure you don't make any mistakes. Let me turn this slide off, it'll get rid of the glare. Okay, we're going to take this first equation, so y equals, and replace the y in this equation with all of this. This is the substitution. So we got 0.5x plus 0.25. Now instead of y, we're replacing y with this, negative x plus 20, because that's what y is equal to. 20, okay, equals 7. And then now we're going to solve this expression for x. So we got 0.5x plus, I'm going to do 0.25 times negative x. So instead of plus, I'm actually going to write minus. So it's be minus 0.25x, and then 0.25 times 20, so that's a fourth, and that'll give us 5 equals 7. Okay. Then we're going to combine like terms. So 50 minus 25 gives me 25. Think about it as money. Plus 5 equals 7. And then we will subtract 5 from both sides. Bring down 0.25x. That goes away. Equals 2. And then we are going to divide by 0.25. And you can use a calculator, solve that. We get 8. So it's kind of like dividing by a fourth. Keep, change, flip. Okay, anyway, x equals 8. So we have 8 gallons of the 50% mixture. You take this 8, we go back up to this equation, and we're going to plug in the 8 there to figure out the other variable. So we got y equals negative x, which we found x was 8, plus 20. And then we get y equals, so negative 8 plus 20, so you're just subtracting 8, you get 12. Okay, so here are our two values. So you substitute, you get 1, and then you go back and plug it in, which they call back substitute, and get the other answer. And then finally, what they really want you to do is take both these numbers and plug them into both equations at the same time to make sure they work out. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna show you how to graph. Well, I guess we'll just type it in the calculator, just so you can check it that way. So we can see this original equation, x plus y equals 20. Well, x was 8, so I'm gonna say 8 plus y, which was 12. Okay, we do in fact get 20. All right, the second equation was 0.5x plus 0.25y equals 7. So we're going to do 0.5, and then we're going to multiply that by the x value of 8, and then we're going to add 0.25, multiply that by the y value of 12, and we should get 7. That's what we got here, and that 7 came from 0.35 times 20. Okay, and it does equal 7. So when you plug it in, if both equations equal their starting values, okay, then we know we have done it correctly. So we're going to insert 8 and 12.